Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping King. Today I'm sharing another layout for 30 Days of Sketches. Today's sketch is by my friend Natalie Dill, and I was inspired by the leaves up at the top in the single photo. And I brought out my Vicki Boutin collection. I decided I wasn't going to go completely fall. I was going to go more of a bright fall. So here I have a single photo of my son that I had taken. He had allowed me to take a couple of pictures of him while we were out and about. We were actually at my old high school. I'll tell you a little bit more about the photo when we get there. First, I have lots of chipboard pieces from Vicki Boutin. Since chipboard was the product focus in Rediscover Your Stash, I decided to go looking for a chipboard, and I found this stuff, and I decided to use this for this photo and use the other chipboard for the other layout that I created earlier in the month. So this one here has a lot of white leaves that have black print on them, and I'm going to color them with Shimmerz Paints. But first, I'm going to show you all the rest of the stuff I pulled out from Vicki. I'm not sure what I'm going to pull off the sticker sheet as of yet. There's a few ideas. This here is also chipboard, but the other one was stickers. The next one I'm going to show is foam, and I don't believe I pull anything off of that one. I decide not to use any of the foam pieces. I'm using mainly Discover and Create, but the one chipboard is from a different collection. I don't remember which one, but not all of them are from Discover and Create, but most of it is. The chipboard pieces are definitely from Discover and Create. And this sticker sheet here is from Discover and Create. And like I said, I'm going to pick a few items off of there at a later date to use on the layout. I haven't totally committed to them, so I haven't pulled them off the sticker sheet. This sheet here is what's going to inspire me to paint my leaves. So these are the chipboard version. And then she had a full sheet of the leaves, which I still have. I need to fussy cut these leaves and use them on a layout, but I wasn't ready to do that, so I decided to go the chipboard route. I have that black paper I'm going to map my photo in. This blue and the purple plum color is what inspired the colors for the layout. Since there's not much colors in the photo, I could pretty much do whatever I wanted as far as color went. So I decided to go a color palette that I usually don't get to work with. And this background piece I absolutely love. I decided I was going to use this as the main background. And his photo almost blends in a little bit too much with it, but I think I make it pop in the end. So here I've already painted 4 of the leaves off camera just because it took quite a bit of time to do that. And I'm going to paint the 5th one with you so you can see the process of how I actually achieved, getting the Shimmerz paint on them. I didn't gesso them or anything like that. I just went ahead and went straight in and painted them. So here I'm using 2 of the different blues that kind of look the same, but the one to the right is Frosty Buns, and it actually comes off more as like a really light, faint blue, like a gray almost. And I didn't want it to be gray, so I went ahead and mixed those 2 together to get the lighter blue. And then I used a little bit of that Distress Oxide to make it darker. So I wanted the 2 smaller ones to be a little bit on the lighter side, look a little bit different. But in the end, when they dry, and you'll see them on the layout, they pretty much all look the same color. The 2 plum purple colored ones, stay around that color. But I was trying to, just mix them and make them look a little distressed. So that's what I kind of sort of achieved, I think. And as usual, I just keep adding and can't leave well enough alone. And I should have probably left them alone, but I didn't. But it's okay. I like the way they look in the end. So here's one more of the white leaves that I have here. This one only has a little tiny heart right in the center of it. So I wanted to use that one as my main one, and then I wanted to use the chipboard heart also. So I'm adding little splatters all around, just like how Natalie has in the example. She has splatters all around the outside of that like square in the center. And since I'm doing 8.5 by 11, I wanted it more of a rectangle versus a square. and I'm going to place it right in the middle. Also, I already have it cut out. I'm going to place the blue and the purple paper behind it, but I only wanted the colored splatters to be on the black, white, tan paper. Hopefully that made sense. And then I used a little stamp just to kind of make bigger splatters. It doesn't really make the stamp impression. It just adds a little bit more paint in certain spots. I kind of found that's my way of doing splatters lately instead of using the paintbrush, since I can't always seem to get the bigger blobs, but I can do it with this little mixed media stamp. So that's what I do. I just stamp it around, and then if I need to, I go in with the brush and kind of spread them out a little bit. But on this one, I just went and splattered a lot. And then the leaf is going to stay more white than it is colored. And I am putting both blue and purple on the leaf and on the heart. So I'm just going to clean that up with the baby wipe. And I sped it up pretty fast, so I just left most of that in. So there you go. There's the finished one. I'm going to roll a paper towel over it to make it a little more faint, but the color is still visible. You'll see it in the close-ups for sure. So here's where I'm adding my papers back in. I want that blue one to be here in the center, and then I want the purple one to be on top. And I didn't gut these ones. These ones are actually from the paper pad, so they're a little bit thinner than her usual papers. And plus, I have these papers in real papers from the collection that I bought as singles. I usually buy a ton of Vicki's stuff just because I absolutely love all of her products. And I love that they all mix and match together. This one here, I didn't use a whole lot of mixing and matching. This is pretty much all Discover and Create. But usually I mix and match a lot of her collections. So up here's where I added that bumpy border sticker, and I'm going to cut off the ends of it. Natalie had ribbon up there. Instead of ribbon, I decided that bumpy border sticker across the top looked good, and I liked it. I'm going to add the leaves right there at the top. I'm going to angle my photo, but I'm going to go the opposite side that she did. She did the left, I'm doing the right. That's just because I think the angle of the way he's sitting on the stairs, it kind of looks a little bit better on the right than it does the left. This little tab is the same purple, and it says love, and then I'm going to put a chipboard piece that says this. So up there it says love this, and then a little heart at the end of that little tab. And then this other little leaf I'm going to place over here where I'm going to place my title, which is going to be Handsome You. And this was just before his 13th birthday, so he's only 12 years old. I still can't believe it. In these photos, he doesn't even look 13. He looks 15 or 16. Way too old, but still my baby. So down here at the bottom, I added a little chipboard heart that says this happened. And then, what does this one say? This one says, life right now. And then I'm going to also bring in the little camera sticker here in a minute. It's a little black and white camera. And then there's a little puffy sticker that says, this is my happy. So pretty much this is my version of like my layout to him. So this is me talking, not him talking. I'm not sure. I don't know how everybody else does it. Like, do you talk in third person? Do you talk in first person? I figure everything in the layouts, if I'm journaling on them, is usually my point of view because I'm the one that created the layout. So that's the way that, that journaling is going to go. But there's really not going to be any journaling on this one. I do have a few other photos from the same day. That one, I will add more journaling to it and say where we are. Like I said, we were at my high school, or at my old high school, and we were just playing around on the track. He was trying to see if he could actually run the track and what it felt like to run an actual track size. So that's why we were there. And he was playing around, and then we were over by the stairs, and I was like, look at these leaves. They're huge. And they're different leaves than usually what we see in the inner city of Denver, which is where we were. And I was like, sit on those stairs and take a picture for me. And he was like, no, I'm not taking pictures for you. And I was like, please. I was like, you're almost 13. I need pictures of you. He's like, fine, but you can't post them. I was like, fine, I won't post them. So I haven't posted them, um, except for until his birthday. I posted this one for his birthday, which I had asked his permission, and he said okay, because he did like the way the photos turned out. And then this one here, he's like, fine, you can use it. So here it is. I like the way that it turns out. You'll see here in a minute, I'm going to actually come right back to it, and I'm going to add white paint to the leaves. They were just a little bit too overshadowing on the photo, I think. And when I add the white, I think it helps make the photo pop versus the leaves. Right now, I think the leaves are a big stable point on the layout, but when I add white to them, I think it kind of makes them blend a little bit more in the background, and his photo pops a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm going to use that stamp again because I don't want to splatter, because I just don't want to get it on the photo or a whole lot of places. I really want to control where I'm putting it. So mainly I'm putting it in the middle of the leaves, a little bit on the sides, just kind of making it look random. And then I will go around on the edges of the purple and blue paper and also add little paint splatters here and there. But like I said, I don't want them to be overly done. So that's why I use the stamp to control it. And that kind of gives me a little bit more control. And I definitely like that. I got a little bit on that sticker. I was able to just wipe it up right away. In here, I'm just going over here, making sure I have a little bit everywhere. And then go in with the paintbrush and fill in these ones because they weren't very dark. Like, so I don't really want to splatter, but I want it to look like I splattered. So anybody that watches the video will know I didn't really splatter, but everyone else will think I did. But there we go, using my paper towel just to wipe it up and to kind of smash it down. And there you go. I like it. I think it turned out really good. I really like the colors of this layout. And he actually liked it too, even though he's like, I don't know why you put handsome on there. But he really did like it in the end. And I love the way the leaves turned out. Thanks for the sketch, Natalie. It helped my mojo come back. And I will see you guys in the next video.